what can we predict, what can we guess that word or phrase might mean? Brittany, what do you think?
Like attract something, like something you're attracted to.
What does it mean to be attracted to someone? Let's not use the definition, the word in the definition. What does it mean?
Like something that you like, something that you see, what you want.
Okay, so Brittany's telling me that attracted usually means that you're drawn to something, you like it, right? You think it's cool, right? Go ahead, what do you think?
Something that, like a magnet, with, like, they come together with another magnet.
All right, so magnets usually come together, they're drawn to each other. Is that what I'm hearing you say? Okay, good. All right, I don't see enough hands, so I'm going to pick somebody randomly to see. The next on my list is Idali. So what do you think magnetically attracted might mean?
That, like, it's attracted to magnets.
All right, maybe it's attracted to magnets. All right, if you look at your sheet, you'll see on the right-hand side it says, I predict magnetically attracted means, and then I give you a blank, because what I want you to do right now, before we even get started reading the book, is I want you to make a prediction. Tell me what you think magnetically attracted might be. All right, we heard a couple different options, right? It's attracted to magnets. Maybe, like Brittany said, it's something that you like. Maybe like Yuvia said, maybe it's about two things coming together. I want you to give me a prediction and then tell me why. So I'll give you 2 minutes to do that.
Can you see examples of videos?
Yes, you can. Good question. But make sure to raise your hand, okay? Thank you. So I've got 2 minutes. Please fill out what you predict magnetically attracted might mean. And again, afterwards, with the because statement, you're going to tell me why you think that. As long as you're making a reasonable guess and it connects to what you've learned, that's fine. See a lot of very excellent guesses, a lot of good predictions. This is excellent. About a minute left if you're still ready. About 30 seconds left. All right, let's get started. So, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
Excellent. So here's what I want to see happen next, okay? We're going to read the text, which is step 1, defining your context clues. So I need everyone to take out their book, and I want you to open up to the first chapter, the introduction, which is on page VII. That's the Roman numeral for 7. So you're going to look for the page that has a V, an I, and an I. Once you're on that page, I want you to please hold it up so I can make sure that everyone's ready to read from the introduction. All right, so we're looking for page VII. All right, missing 3 people. Missing 1, okay. Great question. I'm going to let everyone rotate, but let's go ahead and start. I'll start reading and then I'll call on the first person, okay? So everyone put their books back down, make sure they're eye level. Make sure you're following along so that way if I call on you, you know where to go, okay? All right, let's go ahead. Welcome to Rio Grande Middle School. There are two things you should know about this unusual school. First, the school, the class, the students, and their teachers and parents are purely fictional. Remember, fictional means made up. The young people from Native American, Hispanic, African American, and Anglo cultures exist only on these pages and in my imagination. All these events described in Rio Grande stories are my invention. Sherelle?
Second, since their original publication, these connected stories have inspired real students in real schools all over the United States to talk with families, friends, and neighbors, and to write their own stories and put together their own books, each as
Uniquely?
uniquely different as the communities in which they live.
Let's go with Brittany.
Welcome to your
So,
the stories in this book are Christian. The places I've written about the cities, towns, and pueblos of New Mexico are real, as the Rio Grande itself. The big river is shining thread that stitches together histories and cultures, both ancient and modern, from the Native Americans who were here from the beginning to the Spanish conquerors, explorers, and settlers, and later Anglo arrivals who came, some peacefully, some not, and stayed.
very good. Isaac.
I am a little late arrival, having lived all around on the East Coast. I've never been to the Southwest before. I drove to Taos in the spring of 1978.
Good.
And then for 2 months. For a 2-month stay. The writers called me. I decided then that New Mexico would be
Very good. Let's go with Julia.
The story of the young people in Rio Grande stories reflects my own. I struggled to enjoy eating fire, eating chili. I took Spanish lessons. I set out
Luminaries. Good.
at Christmas time. I sang
Hymns.
in Spanish as Mary and Joseph made their journey from home to house. Eventually, I settled in Albuquerque and married into a family with deep roots in Nuevo Mexico. Listened to their stories about Padre Martinez,
Good.
about the hidden
Juice.
about the first black explorer, about the Navajo code talker. My mother-in-law taught me how to make bizcochitos. I put down my own roots.
Then life took an unexpected turn, and we moved to another part of the Southwest, the high plains of Texas. Traveling to New Mexico as often as possible. After 5 years, we moved back to Albuquerque. But during that homesick period away, I conceived the idea of Rio Grande stories. I'm home now for good, I hope, and remain grateful to family and friends and to the many Rio Grande writers, poets, historians, and artists of all cultures who have given me insight into this area and its rich diversity. All right, so that was from the author talking about what we're going to read. Again, this book is a collection of traditions. Remember that this unit and for the whole year we've been talking about identity, who you are. And part of that is traditions, where you come from, what makes up your groups that you're a part of. Okay? So if you look at the table of contents, each vignette is a different culture and a different idea of what traditions there are. We're going to go all the way past the table of contents to page 1. In this chapter, entitled The Heritage Project, you'll see magnetic, attracted, okay? So we're gonna have you guys look at this and try to figure out what does magnetically attracted mean. All right, so make sure you're on page 1. We're gonna read this one together again. This one's gonna be a little bit longer, but we'll be able to stop after we get to it magnetically attracted, okay? To get some more people to get going, let's go ahead and go with Robert. Robert, could you start us off, please?
The Heritage Project. Jeremy Steinberg printed this in block letters on the first page of this new notebook and decorated with
Flourishes.
Do I read the words too and bottom?
Yes, please.
Heritage Project. 7th grade, Bill Grant Middle School, Albuquerque, Bernalillo County, New Mexico, United States of America. Northern Hemisphere, planet Earth, solar system, Milky Way galaxy, universe.
Jose?
At first, Germany had not been on space about sparkling incident or spirit or clumps
To attend?
to every day to attend your grand school. Most of his friends were going to Jefferson this year, but after only 2 weeks of school, he has been beginning to change his mind.
Very good. Yuvia?
It had been his mother's idea. When she heard that the old Rio Grande School at Clark brick building with tall, old-fashioned windows and had been remodeled and was being turned into a
Progressive?
progressive magnet school for talented kids with special needs programs like this heritage project. She couldn't wait to sign him up.
All right, let's stop there for a second. In terms of that, we saw the word magnetic, or magnet, all right? What is a magnet school according to that story? Let's go ahead and go with Noelia. You're next on the list. So just look at that sentence. What does it say a magnet school is?
We're trying to kids with special needs programs.
Okay. So it's a school for talented kids. Do the kids live in the neighborhood? Do we know?
No.
I hear no, but I don't see hands, so let's go with Jose. Jose, do the kids live near in the neighborhood of the magnet school? It says so in Jeremy. Does Jeremy live near this magnet school?
Yes.
Look at the top.
Or no.
How do we know?
Because it says
Take your time. How do we know that Jeremy doesn't live near the school? You need some help? Okay, we're gonna come back to you though. You don't get off the hook. Ileana, how do we know that Jeremy doesn't live near the school?
that he's about to be Mason because they're across the town.
Where is that in the book?
It's pretty much in the first sentence.
Okay, so Jose, how do we know that Jeremy doesn't live near the school?
Because our bar thinking it should be close to our house.
Good.
To everybody every day to attack the
All right, so the students come from all over. All right, at a magnet school, you don't have to live in the neighborhood that the school exists. They come from all over. This is important to know so that way we understand what magnetically attracted means. Okay, let's keep on reading. So we ended right there. So make sure that you're at think of the opportunity. Let's go with Nancy. Nancy, could you read think of the opportunity?
Think
let's go with Noelia.
Yeah, so Germany, that was his. He ran to forget all that and he did his his father teaches his mother back home out from so she would be the first American girl in the history of Germany. They turned out to be not to be such a joke. She waited for hours before she got home.
Very good. Let's go with Alexia.
So here he was in Germany had to admit be kind of like this. As his mother predicted, there was lots of kids in the 7th grade class who liked him, were magnetically attracted. His father's grade from all over the city as well as other kids who had grown up in this neighborhood near the river had been at this school the year before.
Very good. Let's go with Hugo. Keep going.
A small group of them had been accepted into the Heritage Project, a
Combination.
compilation of history,
Geography.
geography, social studies, and language arts that counted as 3 classes. The idea was to develop
Individual.
individual study projects that showed how each student's family's history fit into their history of the United States.
Robert. Mr. Wilder.
Mr. Wilder, about his great grandfather who had come from Russia a long time ago and made his living as a peddler.
Good.
And about the peddler's son who opened a shoe store in Albuquerque and built it into a successful chain. The shoeman, Jeremy, grandfather, had 4 daughters, but no sons. After he died, 3 of the daughters took over the shoe business, but one wanted to be a social worker. Lee was the last one in the family to marry, and her sisters teased her about being an old maid. But then she met Albert Einberg, a social worker from New Jersey who had waited a long time to find a wife and got married. Jeremy was their only child.
All right. So we're going to stop there because we've gotten to magnetically attracted. So we want to figure out what words are going to help you. So step 2, and I want you to write this down on your sheet. Everyone, please hold up their sheet so I know that you got it. Okay. All right, great. So in terms of this, step 2 is to find the context clues. All right. So step 1 is to actually read the story, right? We're going to read the story and figure out what words that we're not sure about. Step 2 is you're going to find anything around the sentence, right? Magnetically attracted is the phrase that we're looking at, that help you to figure out what it means. Now we already found one, right? They talked about a magnet school, and we said a magnet school is for special kids that come from all over. All right, they come from all over to go to this school. Now the second part is we need to find any more context clues that can help us. All right, so looking back at page 2, so open up your books again, make sure you're on page 2. Are there any context clues that can help us to figure out what did Dad mean when he said magnetically attracted? Sherelle, what do you see?
From all over the city, as well as other kids who have grown up in this neighborhood and had been at the school the year before.
All right, could you tell us what paragraph it is and what page?
Page 3.
Okay. Page 3, it's the first one? Okay. So, in this first one, they talk about how they come from all over and from the neighborhood. So again, this kind of reinforces that one context clue. All right, is there anything else that can kind of help us to figure out what magnetically attracted is? David?
There were lots of kids in the 7th grade class who liked him.
What page is that? It's page 3. And we're looking for 7th grade. Oh yeah, so as Mother predicted, there were lots of 7th grade kids like him, so it's the second sentence, who are magnetically attracted from all over the city. So again, we keep going to that paragraph or that sentence with the word magnetically attracted in it. Bless you. Is there any other sentence, or are there any other sentences that might help us to figure out what they are? So for instance, here's what I'm looking at. For why were the students coming to Rio Grande Middle School? So what was the reasoning? What brings them to this school? Sherelle?